Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Thanks for watching. So today we are doing a first impressions and a makeup tutorial. I have a ton of new products. I want to share with you guys what I think about them. So you know the drill. If you do like it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe below. And if you want to see what I think about some new products and how to get this look here, then just keep on watching. Alright, so I wanted to bring you up close and personal today because I'm reviewing a lot of new products. If you want to see how it wears during the day, I'll let you know how I liked it in the description box down below, like with my foundation and things like that. We're gonna start off with the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. I'm really excited to try it out. This is in the shade Nude. I love the packaging. It's like so classy and luxurious. The consistency is pretty liquidy, like as you can see. Yeah, I put way too much on my hand. What I'm going to do is just put a little bit from my hand. Yeah, this seems like it was a pretty good shade. Yeah, the finish is definitely more of a satin. I typically go matte because I get oily throughout the day, but it feels a little wet, but nothing too bad. Make sure you get around your nose because I feel like that's where foundation can look the weirdest and least blended out, is around your nose and your eyebrows. So I also got some new concealer. I got the Tarte Shape Tape. I'm like unbelievably excited to try this. And the packaging is also so cute on this too. So this is in the shade Light. This is ginormous. As you can see, this is how it looks right next to my eyes. So we'll just do a couple of dots because I've heard this is really pigmented, which is what I've been needing. So I'm going to try this out with just my fingers right now, and then I'll probably move to the beauty blender to just blend it all out. So bringing it down just a little bit to blend it and highlight just a teensy bit. Yeah, as you can see, that's brightened up quite a bit. Yeah, that's some good coverage right there. I'm just going to put a teensy bit more on the inner corners because that's where I have my blackest circles, darkest circles. I haven't filmed for like 2 or 3 weeks, so I feel really out of it. Also, I need to get back into the zone. Yeah, it seems to blend out really well with fingers or with your beauty blender. I'm just putting a little bit on my eyelids to prime, like I always do. Yeah, so I really like this concealer so far. It seems to really do a good job at brightening the under eyes and concealing anything. I also got the Maybelline Fit Me powder, and this is just in the shade Translucent, so it's not like a fancy brightening shade or anything. So what you see is what you get. And I'll selectively like powder my nose and powder my chin, just my T-zone, because that's where I do get really oily, but I won't powder like the rest of my face. Another product I'm going to use is the Hoola bronzer by Benefit. And this is the little mini size, and it comes with a little brush. That's like so little. I won't probably be using that for my cheeks because that would take a whole eternity, but I will use it. I'll try to use it for my nose. The brush is really soft actually. Like, I'm very excited to try that on my nose. So it is a lot warmer than I'm used to. I'm used to using like the Too Faced chocolate bronzer. Oh my gosh, that's very pigmented. We're gonna have to tone that down in a second. So it's definitely warmer than that for those of you who are really fair. And I'm gonna blend that out with just my fluffy powder brush, and I'm just gonna blend that out just a little bit because that was a little cray. And I can always go back if I feel like it got diffused a little too much, because I do like chiseled cheekbones. Who doesn't? You want it to look like you're naturally chiseled, you know what I mean? You don't want to look like you tried really hard, even though you did. That's the beauty of makeup, my friends. So I'm taking the cutest little brush, tapping off the excess. Guys, I'm really underestimating the potency, the pigmentation of this. This was a bad choice. Yeah, you literally need the tiniest bit, because I don't know if you can see now, but my nose is very orange. So just doing the same thing I did before. Lightly dusting. Don't go too hand because then you'll take off the product that you did earlier. Guys, that bronzer is not kidding around. Lesson learned, everyone. Lesson learned. My blush that I've been really loving this winter season is the Milani Luminoso. And I know everyone uses this for summer because it's like a peachy toned blush. But I really love it for the winter because it kind of just warms up your whole face and like makes you look so alive and like, And it's a drugstore blush, so it definitely looks more harsh in camera than it does in real life. I'm also noticing right now. But since I do have a rounder face, I tend to keep my blush this way, not on the apples of my cheeks, but kind of more along where my bronzer is. And that just helps carve out your cheeks even more. This is a little Benefit High Beam, and it's a travel size. My beauty blender is also not super wet, it's more just damp. if you do apply this highlighter, you need to apply it right away because this stuff will dry really quickly. That is really pretty though. It is time for my favorite part, the eyes. I got the Modern Renaissance palette from Anastasia Beverly Hlls. I'm so excited. It's so beautiful. So I'm gonna use this palette and then a couple other eyeshadows for this look. I think I'm gonna bring you in a little closer just so we can get like so makeup YouTube. So I wanted you to be able to get both my eyes at the same time. I don't even really know what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna do like a berry / gold eye. I'm gonna start out with my transition shade and I'm gonna take Bon Fresco. I'm also probably really gonna butcher these names, which will make my husband cry because he's an art history major. This is very pigmented. Like I barely tapped it in there. I think I'm gonna use Warm Taupe, which is that color right there. I'm gonna use Warm Taupe and just add a little bit of that into the crease. Not too crazy. So then I'm taking a denser fluffy brush and I think I'm gonna start getting into the berry undertones. This one. I'm gonna start with Venetian Red. Yeah, this is really gorgeous. Everything's pulling a lot purplier on my skin than I intended it to. Venetian Red, you wouldn't think it's as purple as it is. But I'm mostly concentrating this color right in the crease. I'm not blowing it out a ton. I'm gonna take red ochre and just place that on the outer corner. I'm not used to wearing so much color on my eyes, so this is like kind of freaking me out. In a good way. And I'm gonna take Cypress Umber, which is just a really pretty dark brown. There are no blacks in this palette, so if you like having a black in your arsenal, you might not like this palette, but I don't mind as long as there's a color in there to like deepen up the palette. So I'm just taking the smallest amount and just deepening it up. I'm not really doing anything super fancy, just ever so slightly placing that in the outer corner. Now that we're looking so dramatic, I'm taking this Colourpop Nillionaire, super gold, super pretty. Just take my little finger. I suggest putting in a little bit at a time, not going too ham, otherwise you will experience some fallout. Just lightly brushing that on my lid. I'm gonna use Primavera, which is a really pretty highlighting shade. It's like a pretty goldy shade. Very pretty, very pigmented. I'm gonna add that on top. Oh yeah, look at that. That definitely, as you can see between the two, that definitely added some highlight right in the middle. Pinky finger. I'm taking Vermeer, which is a pretty light shade, and I'm just placing that in the inner corner and on the brow bone. And don't worry if that looks pretty bad, we're gonna blend it all together in a second. I'm not adding any other color to it, I'm just going to blend it all together to make sure that there's no harsh lines. If you did blend out some of that deepness that you wanted, just go back in. I'm just gonna add a little bit more of that right there. This turned out a little more purplier than I wanted it to, so I think I'm gonna add a little bit more of that red ochre. I want it to be a little more berry, not as much plum. Like, I love it, but the packaging isn't my favorite because it's already gotten dirty. Guys, this is from Bobbi Brown, and it's in the shade Golden Pink. And I love using this for the lower lash line just because it's a stick form. I'm just putting that right underneath. We're gonna take just the teensiest bit amount of Cypress Umber, and we're gonna just put that ever so slightly in the outer corner of the eye. Then we're gonna go about almost halfway in. That just smokes it out, just a little bizzle. And then if you have any extra fallout, just brush it away. Just brush it away. This is the Benefits They're Real. Okay, so that's just one round, and as you can see, that's made my eyelashes look very long. See, my eyebrows are already pretty full. I don't do really anything to them besides brush them out, and then I'm going to use my handy dandy Bobbi Brown. This is technically eyeliner, but I use it for my eyebrows. And I basically just outline any sparse areas to make them look a little bit more filled in. Give my eyebrows a little more shape, because I don't want my eyebrows to look fake. I want them to frame my face. Combing it out along its natural shape. Okay, so now that my eyes are all done, my face is done, it's just time for the last part, is focus on the lips. When in doubt, just go for a nude color. This lip liner is Jordana Easy Liner. This is the color Rock and Rose, and it's a very dark mauve-y color. away so I look like a vampire. And now I'm going to add my lip color, which I'm going to use the NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream in the shade London.